Hello, it's Rick with Phoneware. I'm going to demonstrate for you how you can use the optional Phoneware call recording FTP backup service to transfer call recording files to a local drive, a local storage that you have, so you can keep the recordings for longer than 6 months, because 6 months is the standard recording time for our call recording system. So I'm going to go ahead and show my FTP client here. This is what's called FileZilla. This is a free FTP client. You can use any FTP client that you want. And when you subscribe to our call recording FTP backup service, you will be given a server address and a username and a password. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to my server here. And so I've now connected to the call recording server. You'll see on the right-hand side of my display here, these are all the folders that I have access to. It's June 21st as I'm recording this, so the oldest recording folder I have out there is from December 21st of last year, because again, those recordings are stored for 6 months. And so tomorrow, this file or this folder from December 21st of last year will no longer be available. That will be purged tomorrow because it only goes back 6 months. So I've connected to all this information on the server. If I open up one of these folders specifically, you can see that the individual files are MP3 files. So these are audio files. And the actual file name contains the date, the time of the call, the user internally within your business group that has that call, or where that call was recorded, and then the phone numbers of that call. So this was one particular example that was recorded on my line on December 23rd at 7:42 and 49 seconds in the morning, was from my user from this phone number to me, and that's a 32 meg file. So these are all of our recordings. I'm sorry, this is actually a 32K file. That's a very small file. 32 meg would be huge. Sorry about that. So that's the individual recordings, but what you'll want to do is probably bring over a whole folder at a time. And I can either bring one folder at a time, or I can use Windows multi-select either with the Control key or the Shift key. If I hold Control, I can pick multiple selections like that, or if I hold down Shift, I pick a range like that. So let's say I wanted to back up, the 21st through the 27th, those 7 days right there. 21st through the 28th is 7 days because it skips Christmas. And I could then drag all these recordings over to the local folder where I want to store those. So the left side of my screen is my local network. And so I can decide wherever I want to store that data. So I've got a folder here called Call Recordings, and I happen to have stored that folder on a Google Drive Team Drive. So Google Drive, Team Drive, and Call Recordings folder. And so if I wanted to, grab these multiple folders, if I were to just drag these over here, they would copy. Or if I just wanted one particular folder, like let's pick the 24th, because that's probably doesn't have very many calls on it. Yeah, 28 files. So if we go back here to the 24th and I just drag this over, what's going to happen now is it creates that folder on my local server, on my local drive, and it's now transferring all of the files within that folder over to my local machine. So I'll now have a permanent copy of that data, those recordings, that I can, access in the future when I want. If I need to keep those for longer than 6 months, I can do that. It does take a while to do the transfer, so it's usually best to do these off hours, especially if you're selecting, a week's worth of data or a month's worth of data. It could take an hour to transfer a month's worth of data, depending upon how heavy your call volume is. We do also have a script that you can use with FileZilla that will automatically, you could set it up to automatically run in the middle of the night to connect to the server, to grab the previous day's files, transfer them all to your local machine, and then disconnect. And then the next night, it can connect again and just keep doing that process automatically, just like an unattended backup would on your server. So that just finished, and it told me that it finished. And so I've now got copies of all of these recording files on my local machine from that particular date. So it's a pretty easy transfer, process using standard FTP procedures, processes to drag that data over. So that's basically how it works. It's pretty straightforward, and just wanted to give you a quick demo of how that works. If you have any questions, let us know, and thanks for watching.